when we're all home, it's like, oh.
Just living on top of each other a little bit.
Yeah, but
Okay, we are live.
it's okay. None of us are ever home at the same time.
Yeah, so it just works out.
Yeah.
I like the cat you guys have around. Like I seen the little.
Which one? There's.
Oh, I didn't know there's multiple cats. I just.
Is it the fluffy one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's the one that likes to hang out. Used to have like these little boxes out front
Yeah,
to make like
yeah.
a little like shelter for him.
That's
almost.
Mackie.
Mackie? Oh, you
Yeah.
named them too?
Oh yeah.
Look at
So
this.
there's Mackie. He's probably the worst of them all because he likes to run in while you're trying to like go out the door, and you're like, dude, no. So yeah, there's Mackie, and then there's May, and she's
Good afternoon and welcome to Southern Virginia Baseball. We are at Charlie Manuel Field on the campus of Perry McClure High School for a home game for the Knights, and they'll be hosting today the Guilford Quakers. I'm Colby Kemp along with Isaiah Warden. And Isaiah, this is a non-conference midweek matchup here today for these two teams.
Yes, sir, it is. It should be a good one today as Guilford comes into it. A little uneasy, so we'll see how they respond. Nice View has been solid at home, so let's see what we can do here at Charlie Manuel Field.
Guilford comes in at 10-13 overall, 2-7 in the ODAC conference where they are predicted to finish 7th in the preseason poll. The Knights come into this matchup at 6-17, 3-5 in the USA South. That is where they were predicted to finish 6th in the preseason poll. And the first pitch from James Horsley is a little inside. It'll be ball one. Horsley on the mound. Robbie Stemple catching behind the plate.
That's a little too high again, 2-0 count.
Ball two comes in. Also Brooks Burdette playing second base. First base is TJ Peterson, shortstop Seth Lloyd, and Marcelino Leonardo at third. In right field is Ben Agnew. Center field is Mason Jones, and playing left field is the leadoff hitter Connor Robley. Count is 2-1. Horsley with a big curveball catches the plate, and that'll even the count at 2 apiece.
The last couple of pitches have been kind of high, so let's see what we can do here in a 2-2 count. Pitch coming. Ooh. Foul ball again. Do it again. 2-2 count. Location of all these pitches is high. Looks like he's throwing some cutters and some off speed. High and top. Let's see what he can do here. That's not going to find the zone. 3-2 count. Full count here. Payoff pitch coming. Swung on and hit. And that's a foul ball. That was close. Whew. You know, if a gust of wind moves it this way, you know, that's probably out of the park. That's going to be a foul ball, and we're going to do it again. 3-2 count. That should be another foul ball. Wow, he's staying alive here, isn't he?
Yeah, good battle at the plate here. Leadoff batter for Guilford.
See what he could do here. Again, 3-2 count. Who's going to break here? And it's going to be a walk. A little too far inside.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch from Horsley. Just in, and Guilford has the leadoff batter on base.
That was a great at-bat. You stayed patient. You fought.
That was
and you get rewarded with a walk on first.
Number 9, Chris Shoemaker. Now to the plate. Number 10, Ryan Rodriguez. He's the designated hitter for the Quakers here today. First pitch misses. That'll be ball one to Rodriguez. Horsley's second
same
pitch.
location.
Low and outside. Gets away from Stempen, and Shoemaker will make his way to second base. 2-0 count to Rodriguez. Shoemaker at second with no outs here in the top of the first.
They got someone in scoring position. Let's see if they can capitalize on this opportunity here early in the first. There we go. 2-1 count finds the zone there.
Two-one count to the Quaker designated hitter. Horsley delivers.
Ooh.
Curveball gets away, misses up, and that'll bring the count to 3-1. Isaiah, this is a good hitter's count right here for Rodriguez, 3-1. He'll be looking for his perfect pitch here. And
That's going to
Horsley
be a walk.
misses low and away. So 2 walks for Horsley to start this first inning.
Just got to settle down a little bit. That's all it is.
Skylar Dark now steps in for Guilford.
This is a great opportunity for Guilford to go ahead and get up early on this game. They got a man on second, man on first. No outs. Let's see what they can do here. They're going to go for the bunt attempt. And they're going to be able to move runners to third and second in scoring position here early for Guilford.
Skylar Dark is the leading hitter for Guilford. He comes in with a .414 average, and now with that wild pitch, the runners move to second and third with no outs.
Is that 414?
414 on the season.
This is a dream scenario for him. The man on third and a man on second. Let's see what he could do. 1-0 count. Ooh.
Check swing.
Good pitch.
Umpire calls that for a strike. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Horsley delivers.
Ooh.
Curveball,
Another
swing
one.
and miss by Dark. Now Horsley ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now this is big here if he could strike him out. 1-2 count. See what he could go back here. Is he going to go something off speed where he had success earlier in this count? Let's see it. Hit on. Oh, that's a great hit, and that should send 2 home. Wait, is it? Yeah, it's going to stay fair. And that's going to be a triple. Wow, what a start for Guilford. And that ball was well struck. Wow.
That ball right down inside the first base bag goes into the right field corner, and that allows Dark to get all the way to third with the triple and bring home the 2 runs.
That was a great hit. You got to give Guilford credit there. Able to get 2 home.
Dominique Pegues steps into the box.
The blinning's not over for SVU. Man still on third. Guilford could still score with 0 outs in the inning.
And Pegues
Foul ball.
turns on one, just foul down the third base line. Pegues
A little outside there. 1-1 count here. Top of the first and a 2-0 ball game with Guilford with a man on third in scoring position again here. Let's see what they can do here. Third pitch coming. Woo! Swung on and missed.
off-speed pitch there by Horsley.
Great pitch. 1-2
Puts him
count.
ahead with a 1-2 count.
Swung on, and that's a good hit. And that's going to send a runner home from Guilford, making it a 3-0 ball game early on here, top of the first at Charlie Manuel Field.
1-2 pitch. Looked like that was a curveball that was just hanging up in the top part of the zone there, and Pegues was able to send it right back up the middle to score Dark from third. And like you said, Isaiah, put the Quakers out to a 3-0 lead here. Still nobody out. And now Rylan Smith steps to the plate for Guilford. Smith comes in with a .326 batting average. Also last week in a game against Washington and Lee, Smith was able to collect his 150th hit in a Quakers uniform.
Now, this has been a great start for Guilford. You know, you get 2 guys on from walks, get a triple, and then get a single. Now it's a 3-0 ball game. So nightmare start for SVU, but still a lot of game left. Can they turn it around here?
Peggy's takes off for second on the pitch. That'll go down as a stolen base. And the Quakers once again have a runner in scoring position. And Smith at the plate, ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. SVU really needs a good pitch here. Try and get a ground ball or a pop fly. Collect the first out. That ball is lifted to center field.
That's just what you asked for, right? And Mason Jones right under it. First out of the game. There we go.
Mason Jones able to haul that one in. That holds Peggy's at second. And 1 out now here in the top of the first. Stepping in now for Guilford will be number 15, Ethan George. He is their shortstop. He comes into the game batting .213.
SVU still not out of trouble. Still got a man on second with only 1 out in this inning.
Good pitch there by Horsley. Ball came in at the knees for strike 1.
A little bit outside there, 1-1 count.
Interesting here, Leonardo playing in front of the bag at third base. Looks like they may expect George may lay down a bunt. And there's a ground ball right back up the middle, and that'll go into center field. That'll score Peggy's. The throw is cut off by Ben Agnew to hold George to a single, but that now brings the score 4-0 for Guilford here in the top of the first.
As Guilford batters are staying patient, waiting for the right pitch, and executing today early on, making a 4-0 ball game. They're getting runners in scoring position and sending them home. This is a dream start for Guilford. And the damage is not done yet. There's only 1 out in this inning.
Horsley's first pitch is a strike. Batter for Guilford, sophomore, or a senior rather, Christian Chinin. And George takes off to second. The throw by Stempen is in time, and George is thrown out. Caught stealing there by Robbie Stempen. And that's a momentum builder there for SVU. After having given up 4 runs here in the top of the first, always good to erase a base runner on an attempted steal. Horsley misses low, brings the count to 2-1.
There's a great chance for SVU to finally get out of this inning. Getting someone on second now, a pop-up ends the inning, and hopefully SVU bats can get a little hot here in a 4-0 ball game. That should be caught by Marcelino, thrown to first, and it's not going to be in time.
And that ball gets by Agnew at first. They tag Chinin, but the umpire says he had not made an attempt, so that will allow Chinin to reach first there. Good play by Marcelino over at third base. He had to go for the backhand long throw. I would imagine that will be scored as a hit.
That's a hard throw to make there for Marcelino, the third baseman. Swung on and hit, and it should be a pop-up for Ben, and he's able to get there and retire their inning. SVU down 4 runs here early, top of the first, and we'll be back with you bottom of the first where SVU bats up next.
So that hit by Chinin did go down as a single, and SVU gets out of that top of the first inning. A rough start for SVU as they find themselves down in an early hole, 4-0, but now they will come to the plate and see if they can get something going here in the bottom of this first inning.
Exactly. See if they can get their bats a little bit hot here.
Welcome back as we are ready for the bottom of the first inning with Connor Robley stepping to the plate for Southern Virginia. He will face Rains Denman. Denman is a freshman out of Houston, Texas, making the start for Guilford. First pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. Reese Baker is catching.
Looked a little debatable there. Let's see what can happen here. A 1 count for Connor.
And Robley grounds to short. That is handled. The long throw to first is in time. Ethan George there with a solid play for the Quakers to secure the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Now stepping into the box for the Knights, senior shortstop Seth Lloyd, senior out of Evanston, Wyoming.
And Seth is a very patient batter here, so I would not be surprised if this goes, a full count here. He does a great job of staying alive. He waits for his pitch. Very patient hitter. Let's see if he can kind of get the bats warm for SVU here early on. Down 4 runs.
Fouled straight back by Lloyd. 4 strike 1, counts even, 1-1. Lloyd steps into the box, hitting .313 so far this season.
High and outside again. 2-1 count. As Seth is the senior leadership that you want on any team and any sport that you play. Brings great leadership presence, and hopefully he can get on base early here for SVU. Another high ball. 3-1 count. Like I said, Seth does a great job of battling it off. Let's see what he could get here. And that should land. And it does. A single for Seth Lloyd.
Seth with a good job there. Fought off the inside pitch. Muscled it into right field for a single.
Like I said, Seth does a great job waiting for his pitch, a 3-1 count, and he's able to get a hit there. A single early for SVU.
Now into the box is Zach Gertzen, also a senior out of Draper, Utah. Last week, Zach had a great week. That's found him being named to the D3.com Team of the Week.
Wow.
Zach having a good senior season as well, comes in, batting .295 on the season.
Seth's going to go for the steal here, and he should get it in time, and he does. Seth Lloyd steals second, and now SVU early with a runner in scoring position with 1 out, bottom of the first.
Gertson also one of 3 night players that leads the team with 3 home runs so far this season. So a bit of power for Zach. He takes strike 1 at the belt.
2-1 count here. Let's see what Zach can do. SV with a man in scoring position here. Swung on and hit. And it's a gift for a fan. Foul ball. Now we got a 2-2 count. What kind of pitch would you expect to see here, Colby?
Well, you got strike 1 with a fastball at the belt. I'd expect something a little off speed here.
Let's see what he...
Looks like that was a splitter. Into the dirt. Gets away from Reese, but Reese Baker, but Seth Lloyd unable to advance.
Now we got a
play
full
by
count.
Seth, already in scoring position. No need to take a chance there. Down by 4 here in the bottom of the first. Full count. And that is swung and missed by Gertson. So he will go down swinging, and that's the second out of the bottom of the first inning.
SVU still with a man in scoring position, so they can at least try to get at least 1 run here early to cut the deficit. Let's see what they can do here.
Cleanup hitter Mason Jones, the night center fielder, steps into the box now. 2 outs. Runner on second, swing and a miss, strike 1. Jones also comes in with 3 home runs on the season.
Ball's a little too far outside. It's going to be a 1-1 count here, early from Mason Jones. Another ball into the dirt.
Another curveball from Denman. Misses low and away.
2-1 count here. Can Mason get Seth home, or at least get on base to continue this inning? Oof.
Jones takes strike 3 on the outside corner. 2-2 count now. As the Knights looking to put a run up on the board, at least to answer the 4-run top of the inning by the Quakers. And Denman gets Jones on the swing and miss for the 3rd out. So the Knights, they are retired in the bottom half of the first inning, scoring no runs on 1 hit, that being a single by Seth Lloyd. And Denman with 2 strikeouts there. Man will be Caleb Coggins, their second baseman. Welcome back to Charlie Manuel Field as we're ready here for the top of the second inning. Once again, it's Caleb Coggins stepping into the box for the Quakers, and we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Knights. Freshman Gavin Pittman, the lefty out of Ohio. Misses for ball one. He's 1-1 to Coggins after 2 pitches.
There we go. It's going to be strike number 2. 1-2 count.
Good pitch to the outside corner. You like to see that out of the freshman. Competitive pitches. Staying away from the middle of the plate, hitting the corners. There's a curveball that is fouled off by Coggins.
Nice souvenir for a fan here. And let's see what you can do with a 1-2 count. Swung on and hit.
Coggins pops that up, and that'll be foul. TJ Peterson heads over to the fence. Down the first base line, watches that land out of play.
As again, this is a dream start for Guilford. Able to get people on base early in the first and just get runners home. And let's see if they can emulate that here early in the second inning.
Pittman misses up and away, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, that looked really similar to the first pitch he thrown at this at-bat where it was considered a strike. So that call can go either way.
Good pitch. Off-speed pitch. Umpire says just a little off.
I don't know if I agree with that one
Off
there.
the corner of the plate. Still a good pitch there by Pittman. 3-2 pitch on the way. And that will miss a little up and away. And so Caleb Coggins fights his way into a walk and gets the leadoff runner on for Guilford. Second inning in a row that Guilford has gotten their leadoff batter on base.
Those were 2 kind of controversial calls there. 2 calls that could have gone either way, resulted in 2 balls. And there we go. That's a strike right down the middle. 0-1 count here.
Chris Shoemaker steps into the box for the Quakers. He is their leadoff hitter. So the Quakers already batted around here for the first time today. Curveball by Pittman finds the zone. So Shoemaker with a 1-1 count. Check that 0-2 count. Scoreboard didn't get that first strike. Throw over to first base, pulls TJ Peterson off the bag. Good save there by Peterson. You're right, Gracie. You're right.
And there we go, swing and a miss. And he's able to strike him out there early on. Guilford still a man on first. But SVU with the first out of the inning and a strikeout. And let's see what they can do here. Guilford still a man on first. Let's see if they can keep the momentum building for Guilford. Or can SVU kind of silence some of that momentum early on? First pitch coming your way. I was going to throw it back
Another
to the
throw
first
over.
baseman.
Trying to keep Coggins close. Now at the plate, Ryan Rodriguez. Pittman misses up and away to the right-handed batter, Rodriguez.
Making it a 1-0 count here. There we go. That's a strike.
Big curveball there by Pittman. Finds the zone. Puts him ahead. Rather evens the count at 1-1 strike.
Oh, that's a hit. And that's going back, and that's gone. Home run early for Guilford. What a hit. And that goes 325 feet out the park. Wow. That was a good hit.
Yeah, really a pretty good pitch there made by Pittman. That ball was down and in. Rodriguez just went down and muscled that out of the ballpark. And that puts the Quakers up by a count of 6-0 with 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning.
And that dream start for Guilford is just continuing. They're able to get 2 home there. And again, a great hit. And like you said, a solid pitch. But just the bats are really hot today for Guilford. Now let's see what they can do here. With, again, only 1 out here. Top of the 2nd is a 6-0 ball game.
Ball 1 by Pittman as Skylar Dark steps into the box for the Quakers. Ball 2 misses low and away.
Misses away again. 3-0 count here. As if you're the pitcher, you're a little rattled here. Just gave up a home run. It's hard to kind of lock back in here. But he's able to find the zone there. 3-1 count. Swung on, and that's going to be a good hit. And it's going to go straight to Mason Jones. Makes the play here in the outfield. So that was a good play made by Mason. And that's going to lead to the 2nd out of the inning here in a 6-0 ball game. A swing and a miss for Guilford. 0-1 count.
Pittman misses low and away to the Quaker cleanup hitter, Dominic Pegues.
Ooh. Wild pitch there. Gonna make it a 2-1 count.
Pittman, it's 2-1 delivery. Goes a little slider on the inside corner, and Pegues fouls that off down the 3rd baseline. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pittman here looking to get the Knights out of this top of the 2nd inning where the Quakers have already put 2 up on the board.
That ball's going to be too far outside, so we're going to have a full count here with 2 outs, top of the 2nd in a 6-0 ball game. Let's see if SVU can get out of this inning and stop some of this bleeding and the momentum that Guilford has. And that ball struck on, and it should be caught by the first baseman, and that's going to retire the inning and kind of stop some of this bleeding that we're seeing.
TJ Peterson makes the out. That retires the side as the Quakers scored 2 runs that inning on the 2-run home run by Ryan Rodriguez. And now the Knights will come to bat. Ben Agnew will lead that off. We'll go ahead and take a break and be back with the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Welcome back here for the bottom of the second inning. Ben Agnew is the leadoff hitter this inning for the Knights. He fouls off. That's the second pitch. That evens the count at 1-1. Once again, we're here at Charlie Manuel Field here at Perry McClure High School. Site of all the home games for Southern Virginia baseball. Isaiah, we should note that as we speak, there is construction on the new baseball field down on the campus. And all these Knights are excited to see that completed. As Agnew lifts a fly ball to left field. And that is hauled in there for the first out of the inning. That's Dominic Pegas, the Quaker left fielder, making that play.
And Ben, had a good hit there, just couldn't get it really out of the park. And that was, a few feet away from going out the park. But like you said, I'm super excited being an SU student to see the baseball field so we don't have to play at a high school anymore. It would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun to have that facility there and something that the baseball team can call their own and start building their own tradition right there on campus. And also makes it a little bit more accessible for the students to come up and watch. This is a great setting here at Perry McClure. And we have an awesome setting where that stadium's being built down on the campus there behind the football stadium. And there's a line drive up the middle. A great play there by Coggins to keep it on the infield. But that is going to be a base hit there for T.J. Peterson.
That was a really good swing and hit. Sends it right back up to the second base and able to get a man on first. But yeah, like you said, especially with building tradition, it is really important that you have a home field you can call your own home. Being on the football team, we had traditions in that locker room, so I'd love to see the baseball team have that same type of traditions going on.
Yeah, a lot of excitement in this SVU baseball program right now under first-year head coach Tyler Cox, and also the breaking of ground of that stadium that happened last year. That's ball one to Robbie Stempen, number 9, the catcher for SVU here today. Throw over to first. T.J. Peterson able to get back easily. Denman in his second inning of work here for the Quakers. Swing and a miss by Stempen. So he finds himself in an 0-2 hole here to Denman here in the bottom of the second. 1 on, 1 out for the Knights. Solid 0-2 pitch there delivered by Denman. Misses just a little up. But that's like what you like to see there, 0-2 count. Throw a pitch that you might get the batter to chase a little bit. Stempen, very good discipline in the box.
Absolutely, and he stays disciplined, stays alive here. As if you're SVU, just trying to build some type of momentum, trying to get a few people on base and send them home. You're down 6-0, so you need to start just scoring here and there. And next thing you know, bottom of the ninth, you could be only down 1.
Another good pitch there by Denman. It's a good pitch, but it was a little down. And Stempen, once again, doing a good job knowing his zone.
Absolutely.
Gets the count back even at 2-2.
Staying patient. Let's see if he can get a pitch he wants. Ooh.
Denman misses up for ball 3. And now Stempen, after being down 0-2, finds himself in the box with a 3-2 count. T.J. Peterson, be interesting to see if he goes on the pitch. He stays. Ground ball to second. Go to 2 and over to 1. They'll get the force out at second base and retire T.J. Peterson, but Stempen will reach on the fielder's choice.
Guilford close there to making the double play. Couldn't do it, but still a good job of getting that runner on first. That was running second out. So now SVU with just 1 runner on first.
Yeah, when that ball was hit, I didn't think it was hit hard enough for them to get that double play. Turns out they were not able to get the throw over in time. And there's Marcelino Leonardo with a deep shot to center. And that is Number 24, Christian Shinin. He will go back just shy of the warning track and make the catch for the 3rd out. But another good solid contact there by the Knights. Just right now, the solid contact that they have made seems to be right at the Quakers.
Absolutely. And it's just been a little unfortunate. In Guilford, you got to give credit to their defending. They've been great today, able to react quickly out of the balls that are being hit in the outfield and getting SVU batters out early, as SVU only had a runner on second so far this game. So hopefully, they could get out of the top of the 3rd quickly and start getting their bats hot.
Yeah, I think that's key for them right now is having a good quick inning. Get those 3 outs.
Absolutely.
Don't let Guilford get anything going on the offensive side. It's only the top of the 3rd now. The Knights still get 7 at-bats here. Plenty of time to put some runs on the board. And they've had many games this season where they've been able to put up a lot of runs on the board. So even though you're down 6 right now, if you just string together a couple good innings defensively, you have the ability to get yourself back into this ball game. Have a new pitcher once again, 3rd pitcher in as many innings. Tyler Bells comes out onto the bump for the Knights.
And absolutely, it's hard to build some confidence when you go down in a game so early. So all it takes, though, is just a little bit of momentum flip. Hopefully here, like you said, get a quick 1, 2, 3 out, switch over the inning, and get those bats warm. As the confidence for SVU got to be a little low right now.
Bells is a freshman, right-handed pitcher, out of Keller, Texas. As Coach Tyler Cox will look to the freshman to see if he can deliver the first scoreless inning here in this game for the Knights. Rylan Smith will lead things off here against the freshman Bells. First pitch finds the top of the zone, strike 1. Good start there for number 2, Tyler Bells.
So hopefully Tyler can have some success, as a lot of SVU pitchers so far haven't been able to. So hopefully he can get out of here without any more scoring going on.
And that pitch is sent right back up into center field by Rylan Smith. And so for the 3rd time in as many innings, the Quakers get their leadoff hitter on base.
For Guilford, if it's not walking, they're just hitting extremely well today and just finding every sweet spot you want to find on the baseball field. Get a man on first here.
Bells hits the outside corner for strike 1. Gets ahead in the count on the shortstop, Ethan George. 1 for 1 on the day for the Quaker shortstop. Second pitch gets away from Stempen. And that will allow Smith to head over to second base. Tough thing about that, Isaiah, is that takes off the potential double play there. You get the leadoff guy on. As a pitcher, you want to try and get a ground ball, see if your infield can turn a double play. But Smith already able to take second.
Absolutely. Now it sends Guilford in a great opportunity to keep the momentum, keep scoring. They got a man in scoring position here.
The Knights check the swing by George, and the base umpire says he did go around, so Bell's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That'll be ball 2 outside. 2-2 count here to George. A breaking ball misses low and away, and Tyler Bells now has a full count on the Quaker shortstop. 3-2 pitch. It's hit into center field. Mason Jones, he's camped under it. Ryland Smith stays at second base, and that is the first out of the top of the third inning.
I give a lot of credit to Mason. There's the ball, you know, the clouds are out today. He kind of can lose the ball in the sky, but he's able to catch it and make the play. Now still, again, Guilford with a man in scoring position, so the trouble's not over for SVU here.
Good to be able to keep Smith on second base. Bells now, he'll look. Either a ground ball or another fly ball. There's a bunt down the third base line. Foul ball. Christian Chinnan, the Quaker center fielder, tries to surprise the Knights defense there with that attempted bunt. Chinnan back in the box, awaits the 0-1 delivery. Oh, it's fouled off down the first base line, out of play. And so now Bells finds himself way ahead of the battered Chinnan with an 0-2 count.
That's exactly what you want if you're SVU. Trying to, again, make a quicker inning. And can Seth make the play?
You know, and right there, a situation where Chinnan, you know, hit that ball right into the ground. He got a big high hop, and with his speed, he was able to beat out that throw. Nothing that Seth Lloyd really could do about that.
No, there wasn't, but now Guilford, again, with a good opportunity with only one out in this inning, the man on second, a man on first.
Yeah, the positive side of that was that Smith was unable to advance with that ball being hit ahead of him. So now that does put the force on. A ground ball possibly gets the Knights out of the inning here.
Absolutely. Has a possibility for a double play.
Reese Baker, the catcher. There's a pickoff attempt as Burdeck sneaks in from his second base position.
And that was really close.
That was really
super close.
0-1 pitch, misses outside. Evens the count to Baker. Strike two as Bells hits that outside corner. Bells really doing a good job here, delivering some good pitches. And for the most part, he's stayed ahead in the count to these Quaker batters this inning.
Absolutely. Seen a change of pace through the pitching. Now let's see if he could get out of this inning, again, without giving up any runs. The man's still in scoring position for Guilford.
Fastball misses outside, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bells with the delivery. Curveball on that is blooped into center field. Jones comes up, he'll fire to the plate. Throw will not be in time, so Guilford will plate 1 run there. And they will find themselves still with runners on first and second with 1 out. And now the number 9 hitter, Caleb Coggins, will come into the box.
Yeah, and that was a great hit. And Guilford, again, that's why they're so dangerous when you have a man on second able to get him home. And that was a beautiful spot where the ball landed right between the center fieldman and the shortstop. As the Guilford bats are just super hot today, now up 7-0 early, top of the third, and they have all the momentum in the world, and they could still add to their lead here.
That was one of those unfortunate hits. You always hate to see that when a pitcher does their job, works ahead, throws a good pitch.
Absolutely.
Batter just sticks his bat out and was able to just bloop that into center field. Those bloopers, those can be real backbreakers.
Absolutely.
One pitch lifted into center field.
Oh,
Shallow
someone call
center
for it?
field. Seth Lloyd will go back, and he will make the catch for the second out of the inning. Quakers still have runners on first and second. And Tyler Bells, he'll look to get that third out before any more damage is done in this top of the third inning.
And Guilford still has a man on second and on first. So even with 2 outs, they're still alive here. And wow, swung on. And Guilford adds to their lead.
Good piece of hitting there. And that was the leadoff batter for the Quakers. Chris Shoemaker stepped in and just slapped that first pitch through the 5-6 hole to plate. Christian Chinen. And that will take the Quakers out to an 8-0 lead here with 2 outs in the top of the third.
Like I just talked about earlier, when you have a man on second, you still have a man in that scoring position. Even if there's only 1 out remaining, Guilford does a great job of making contact, getting another one home.
Good pitch there by Tyler Bells to get ahead in the count. Hits the lower outside corner. And there's a pitch swung on, and that is sent in to right field where Ben Agnew
Got it.
is able to circle that fly ball, make the catch, and put an end to the top of the third inning for Guilford. So Guilford, they will score 2 runs in the top of this third inning, and they are out to an 8-0 lead now with the Knights coming to bat.
Introducing Sport Performance. But not just this. They told you to choose books or the ball, the classroom or the court, but that was never you. You study like it's your playbook, you train like it's your thesis, your body's in motion, your mind's building the future. Because greatness isn't just in the stats, it's in your discipline, your character, your purpose. Master your sport, master yourself. This is Sport Performance at Southern Virginia University.
Welcome back. Bottom of the third inning, first pitch swung on and fouled off. Brooks Burdett, the Knights' second baseman, in the box as he will look to get something started here for the Knights. They find themselves in an 8-run hole. Strike 2 to Burdett as he chases. For the 2.5 innings, Guilford, 8 runs on 9 hits. Meanwhile, SVU, they've been able to get 2 base hits so far, 1 in each of the first 2 innings. And Burdett watches strike 3 as Denman hits the outside corner with a breaking ball. So Burdett will go down looking, and that will bring Connor Robley to the plate.
You know, he's a good hitter, as we talked about earlier in the first, and hopefully he can kind of get things started for SVU and get some momentum back that they desperately need here in an 8-0 ball game.
C-Rob looks at strike 1. Good pitch at the knees there by Denman. C-Rob again batting .333 on the season, really doing a good job as the Knights leadoff batter. It's good to see C-Rob out on the field. You know, just about 2 weeks before the season started, he had a pretty rough ankle injury. Rolled it pretty good practicing up on the turf. You know, when we had all the bad weather. And fortunately, he was able to return after just missing 1 week, the opening week of the season.
He's tough as nails, you know, and he comes in and is one of the better hitters on this team for SVU. So he's done a fantastic job this season, even coming back from an injury. So you got to give a lot of kudos to him.
Two 2-1 count. That misses a little up, and so C-Rob steps in with a 3-1 count, looking to start something by getting on base. Seth Lloyd on deck. Strike 2. And now C-Rob with a full count. Robley fouls off the 3-2 pitch, so he'll hang in there. Three-two pitch, grounded to third, backhanded there across the diamond in time. Great play there by the Quakers' third baseman. That is Rylan Smith.
It's just going Guilford's way. I mean, that was one heck of a play by the third baseman and first baseman to be able to make that throw and make that catch. But wow, is it a little bit unfortunate for SVU here.
Absolutely a good stretch there by Shoemaker at first to get that throw that took Smith deep behind third base. Backhanded, made a long, very strong throw to get C-Rob. You know, and C-Rob not by any means the slowest player. Seth Lloyd rips a hard ground ball to second base, and Caleb Coggins unable to come up with it. So Seth Lloyd will reach for his second time here this afternoon. And now Zach Gertson will step into the box for the Knights as they'll look to keep this bottom of the third inning going.
And same with him and Mason Jones here on deck. You know, we can be lucky enough to see a home run here as we got two strong batters here with 2 outs left.
Pitch gets away, and that will allow Seth Lloyd to head over to second base. Second time Seth has found his way to second base here today. Now the Knights will look to capitalize on the error by Coggins and that wild pitch that moved Seth over to second base. Gertson, swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 count.
That gives SVU with a runner in scoring position. Like we talked about earlier, Seth's second time on second base. Let's see if they can get him home here to start to cut into this deficit.
Denman fires way high for ball 2. Good job by the catcher, Reese Baker, to keep that one in front of him. And there's a balk called on Denman, so that will move Seth Lloyd over to third base here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. And Zach Gertson now, he will look to plate the first run of the afternoon for Southern Virginia.
This is a great opportunity for an RBI chance here and start to get the momentum turning for SVU.
Gertson fouls it off, out of play down the first base line. 2-2 count now on Gertson. And a pitch delivered there by Denman. Good breaking ball gets Gertson on the swing and miss, and that will bring the bottom of the third to an end for Southern Virginia. They scored no runs on no hits, and Quaker had 1 error in the bottom of that third inning. We will move to the top of the fourth with Guilford coming up, with them holding an 8-0 lead. We're back here for the beginning of the top of the fourth inning. Another new pitcher for SVU, Gage Robinson, out on the mound, and he'll face Skylar Dark. First pitch, a little low for ball 1.
And so far, Guilford, every inning has scored. SVU is trying to look for an answer to stop some of this bleeding, and hopefully this inning is going to be a quick one for them.
Ground ball to Burdett at second base. Throw pulls TJ Robertson off. And that, unfortunately, will be an error on Burdett. And for the 4th time in as many innings, Guilford has their leadoff batter on base. TJ Peterson, did his best, but that throw was just too high. He had to come off.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think some of that might just be a little bit of confidence issues going on, because that should have been a routine play right there. But Guilford gets a man on first here with 0 outs.
Robinson did a good job getting that ground ball. He'll be looking to do the same thing right here. See if the Knights can turn the double play. It's the Quakers cleanup batter in the box, Dominic Pegas. Good pitch by Robinson. 2-1 count on Pegas. Robinson misses way outside with that one. Good job there by Stempen to keep that one and not allowing Dark to advance to second.
That should be a good opportunity to get a hit here. Oof.
And Robinson misses a little up and in. And so the Quakers now first and second with no out here in the top of the fourth.
Again, the Quakers just doing a great job of getting people on board. Let's see if they can send someone home here. The man in scoring position.
Robinson misses high with the first pitch to Ryland Smith. Strike one. Robinson finds the zone, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Knights once again find themselves in a bit of danger here to start the inning. No outs, 2 runners on, and there's a shot down the left field line. C-Rob able to track that one down, and that'll hold the runners at first and second. So 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Engage Robinson. He can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief there.
Absolutely.
That ball was hit pretty well, but fortunately for the Knights, that was right to where Connor Robley could go track that one down.
Absolutely, and Connor made a good play on that. But the danger's not let up for SVUs. They still have a man on second with only 1 out in this inning. So hopefully they can get a double play here or try to get out of this inning.
Good start right there with a good pitch there by Robinson. Hits the outside corner. Gets ahead 0-1 to Ethan George. Guilford shortstop. And there is a ball lifted down the right field line. Ben Agnew tracks it down and able to get the throw away, and that will also hold the Guilford runners at first and second, now with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
That was a great job by Ben Agnew getting under that ball and then being able to throw it to third to stop anyone from tagging and going to third there. As the 2 outfielders here for SVU with the 2 outs has made great plays to hurry up and try to get out of this inning without giving up any runs, which is something we haven't said much today for Guilford.
First pitch misses up. Christian Chinnan. He's 2 for 2 on the day here. As Gage Robinson will try and retire him for the first time. Misses quite a bit outside there to go behind to Chinnan 2-0.
That's a good pitch right there.
Good pitch, bounces back, stays in the count. 2-1 now. Same spot, strike 2, evens the count, 2-2 to Chinnan.
2 great pitches. Hopefully retire him here and kind of get out of this inning.
Goes to the same spot again, ground ball to third base, and Marcelino Leonardo unable to handle that. And that will keep Guilford in the inning there, unfortunately, for the Knights.
Ball's coming in a little hot there. Couldn't make the play, and now Guilford with a chance with bases loaded to add on to their 8-0 lead.
Their catcher, Reese Baker, steps into the box here. First pitch misses just a little high. Ball 1. And Isaiah, the Knights here, they're desperate to get out of this inning without letting any runs score here. Already down 8-0.
Absolutely. The fact they're still 1 out away is crucial. A pop-up ends the inning. They're just looking for anything to get out of here without giving up any more runs. Like you mentioned, an 8-0 ball game.
Robinson checks the runners. And there's a pitch. It's lifted. And that will be out of play down the first base line. I thought for a second that might do it. That might get us out of the inning there, but that ball drifted out of play.
The wind definitely helped him there.
And that will miss. Out of the zone high. 3-1 count.
It's going to be a hard pitch.
And there's a ball hit to center field. And Mason Jones is going to be able to get under that and haul in the third out of the inning. And Coach Tyler Cox, he can breathe a sigh of relief there. For the first time today, the Knights are able to get out of the inning without giving up a run. So they hold Guilford at 8-0. And the Knights now will head in to see if they can make a little bit of noise of their own.
Absolutely, and that was great plays by all the outfielders, Ben Agnew, Mason Jones, and Connor Robley, all able to get a play here and retire Guilford an 8-0 ball game.
So we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and it'll be Mason Jones to lead off the inning for the Knights in the bottom half of the fourth when we come back. We are back for the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch, Mason Jones fouls that off for strike one. Rains Denman, still the pitcher for Guilford. Mason Jones lines a shot to shortstop, and a diving catch made there by Ethan George to come up with the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning for the Guilford Quakers.
Yeah, that was a great play by Ethan, able to dive and make the catch here, as Guilford all around has been playing exceptionally well. If it's not pitching, it's the infield, not the infield, it's the outfield. Everyone is just on their game today here at Charlie Manuel Field.
Yeah, we were discussing a little bit in between innings how, some of the balls, Guilford's hit some hard balls, but they've also hit some that just found their way. That's an example there. The Knights getting a good, solid hit, but Guilford's defense able to dive and make a great play there to get the out.
Absolutely, and it was just a great play, but that was a well-struck ball, and just unfortunate here for SVU, as things are just not going their way.
Ben Agnew now in the box, a 1-1 count on him at the moment. Denman delivers, and there's a ball hit into center field, and that will be a base hit for Ben Agnew. Chinnan picks it up in center field and throws it in to hold Agnew to a single.
Great hit by Ben. I mean, that's hopefully you can get the bats hot, do some of that, plops right between the center fielder and second and shortstop. Hopefully SVU now with a runner on first can start getting some momentum here.
TJ Peterson, the Knights' first baseman, in the box. He'll swing, and he'll rip a shot down the left field line into the corner, and that is played there by Peggis and thrown in to hold the runners at first and second for the Knights.
And there
But
you
Isaiah,
go.
nevertheless, the best rally that the Knights have going thus far.
Absolutely. Now a man on second, man on first. And, you know, we've left a lot of people stranded on second. But now with the opportunity with only one out in this inning to start mounting a comeback here and flipping some of this momentum.
Robbie Stempen, the catcher, now steps into the box, takes ball one up and in. Looks at strike one to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stempen, senior out of Stafford, Virginia, makes up half of the Knights catching crew, him and senior Ryan Ferris. Ooh, a tough pitch right there. Stempen, strike 2. Ball looked to be maybe a little in, maybe a little down, but the umpire says it got enough of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Stempen.
This is a very important at-bat for Stempen.
And Stempen chases a pitch in the dirt for strike 3, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
That at-bat was big here because now there's 2 outs in the inning, and hopefully, you know, if he's able to get a single, at least get on base, you got bases loaded with a golden opportunity. But let's see if SVU, still a man, Ben Agnew in scoring position, what can Marcelino do?
Takes first pitch, low, ball 1. Marcelino looking for a base hit, hoping to score the first run of the day for Southern Virginia. Denman checks the runners and hits the outside corner, and a swing and a miss by Leonardo for strike 1. Isaiah, I mentioned just a minute ago, Ryan Ferris, senior catcher, plays, you know, him and Stempen, Robbie Stempen, they kind of platoon behind the plate. Ferris actually hit for the cycle. First player in SVU history last week to hit for the cycle. There's a swing and a shot. Foul down the third baseline.
Wow, isn't that impressive to get a cycle? I mean, wow. And that just goes to show how much of a phenomenal hitter he truly is. Hopefully we can start seeing some of that in this game.
1-2 pitch coming to Leonardo. Breaking ball, and Leonardo
There you
hits it
go.
down the third base line. And Peggy stumbles in the outfield. That's going to score Ben Agnew with the first run of the game for Southern Virginia. And Marcelino will end up on second base. And TJ Peterson, he will get to third.
That's exactly what the doctor prescribed. Marcelino gets a great hit, is able to send Ben Agnew on second all the way home. And finally, SVU is able to add to their deficit and cuts it to 8-1 lead. And again, a great hit by Marcelino. And SVU still in a great opportunity to keep scoring as there's a man on third and a man on second.
Brooks Burdett steps into the box for SVU. 2 outs here in this bottom of the 4th inning, but Burdett with an opportunity to cut in to that 7-run lead that Guilford has at the moment. Burdett takes ball 2 inside. So he's in a good situation in the box in a hitter's count here. He'll be looking for a pitch that he can drive somewhere. Base hit here will score 2 runs. Good swing, and he lines one foul down the right field line. 2-1 count to Burdett. Junior second baseman out of Charleston, South Carolina. Burdett takes strike 2. SVU bench thought that missed a little high, but once again, umpire disagreed. Calls strike 2 on Burdett. 2-2 count now. Burdett digs in. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, ball in the dirt. And the throw to first base gets by the first baseman. So 2 runs will score for the Knights. And Burdett is on his way to third base. So an interesting play there. That pitch was in the dirt. Swing and a miss by Burdett. So Guilford has to throw it down to first base to retire Burdett. And that ball got by the first baseman down the right field line. So the Knights scored 2 runs. And it looks like Coach Zach Booker come out and have a conversation with the umpire.
That was great base running. Oh my days, he was able to get to third there and send 2 home. Like you said, off of just kind of the catcher and the first baseman, not on the first page, but SVU now, all of a sudden, an ending where they were 2 outs, able to score 3 runs, and now makes it a 5-run game here with damage still to be done with a man on third up to bat here as the momentum has completely shifted over to SVU.
So Connor Robley now steps into the box. Burdett on third base. I'm sure that Coach Booker came out, wanted to check with the umpire to see if Burdett was in fact in the running lane on that throw down to first base. It was a brief discussion, so the umpire was certain that there was no interference there by Burdett. 1-1 count now to C-Rob as he looks to score a run to cut further into that 8-3 lead that Guilford currently owns. Robley fouls that off, out of play down the right field line. 1-2 count. Denman here, he'll be looking to get out of this inning. Unfortunately for him, he feels like he got out of the inning with that strikeout on Burdett. But Guilford unable to make the play at first base. Ball 2 to Connor Robley.
Absolutely, and if you're Guilford, you got to make routine plays routinely. Right there should be a quick and easy catch at a first baseman.
C-Rob, ground ball, diving stop there by Ryland Smith. He throws across the diamond. That'll be in time, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the 4th. But SVU scores 3 runs to cut into that lead. It is now 8-3 Guilford as we head into the 5th inning. We are back here at Charlie Manuel Field as we start the top of the 5th inning here between Guilford and Southern Virginia. Leading off this bottom or top of the 5th is Caleb Coggins, number 9 hitter for Guilford.
As SVU last inning did an amazing job of getting people on base and sending them home, Guilford again had an opportunity to get out of that inning, only being up 8-1, but a misturn of events from catcher to first baseman makes it now 8-3 for SVU as they're building some momentum here, top of the 5th.
Also now on to pitch for SVU is number 21, Brady Stillman. He's a junior out of Rollsville, North Carolina. Coggins fouls off the pitch. That'll bring the count to full 3-2. As Stillman here, he'll try to be the first pitcher to get the leadoff batter out to start an inning.
Absolutely, and that goes to show how good Guilford has been, because some of these pitches have been good, and there we go. Guilford's going to get on again.
A borderline pitch called a little high by the umpire, and that will send Coggins down to first base as he earns the walk. And into the box now is the leadoff hitter for Guilford, Chris Shoemaker. Shoemaker, 1 for 2 today. Fouls off the first pitch. Out of play. Stillman delivers the pitch. That's low, ball 1. Good play there by Stempen to keep that ball right there in front of him and keep Coggins on first base. Stillman misses low and in. Falls behind 2-1 to Shoemaker. Last 2 pitches missing down and in. Looks like Stillman's doing his best. Try and get a ground ball here. See if the Knights can't turn a double play. That'll misses up and away. 3-1 count now on the batter Shoemaker.
Absolutely, as it would be a great opportunity to get a double play here and then hurry up and get out of this inning and get those hot batters back on the plate for SVU.
Runner goes on the pitch, and strike 2 is called. Good call there by Coach Booker. That takes off the opportunity for a double play on a ground ball here. 3-2 pitch coming for Shoemaker. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Stillman gets the strikeout for the first out of the top of the 5th inning.
And there we go for SVU, able to get a strikeout, something we haven't been able to say a lot today, but with that strikeout, Guilford still with a man in scoring position on second.
Stillman misses a little up and in with the first pitch. Ryan Rodriguez, who has a 2-run home run to his credit here today. One count to Rodriguez. Pitch misses up and away, 2-1 count. Good pitch there by Stillman, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This is a really important pitch coming up here. Can Stillman get him out and then be 1 out away from retiring the inning? Ugh, a little bit
Breaking
outside.
ball misses low and away. Looking to see if he could get Rodriguez to chase on that one. Full count now.
The wind's starting to pick up here too.
And there's a called
there it
strike
goes.
3 as Rodriguez watched that one in on the inside corner. And that'll be Stillman's 2nd strikeout of the inning. 2 outs here. Runner on 2nd for the Quakers, and Stillman now will try and get out of this inning.
Great pitch, but the job's not finished. 1 out remaining for SVU.
Skylar Dark steps into the box. He is 1 for 3 on the day. One count on Dark. Big curveball drops in, strike 2. And now Stillman just 1 pitch away from getting the Knights out of the top of the 5th. Timeout called. Looks like pitching coach Spencer Davis will head out and have a discussion with his battery, Stillman and Stempen.
As SVU has a great chance here to get out of this inning and have 2 innings without Guilford being able to score or even get a man on third. Or now they had bases loaded last inning, so I apologize for that. But it could be a good opportunity for SVU to go 2 innings without a run, and the momentum could start being swung towards SVU side. As last inning, we saw SVU score 3 runs, and hopefully they could build on that bottom of the 5th here. But more importantly, they got to get out of this inning without giving up any more runs with a runner in scoring position here.
1-2 pitch. Just missed. Looked like a pitch very similar to the curveball he threw for strike 1. Umpire says this one missed. 2-2 count. And there's a pitch just inside. 3-2 count now to Dark.
That pitch was a little bit questionable. I think that was a strike, but we got a full count here. This is what you love about baseball right here, full count. Who's going to win?
Pitch, and that's a curveball. It misses up and away. And so Dark will earn the walk. And now the Quakers cleanup hitter, Dominic Peggis, will step into the box with 2 outs, runners on 1st and 2nd. Breaking ball, hit down the first baseline and foul. Looked like that was right off the end of the bat, as Peggis was way out in front of that off-speed pitch. Second pitch outside and in the dirt. Great job there by Stempen to pick that one out of the dirt and not allow the runners to advance. Stillman doesn't get on top of that curveball. It misses over the head of Peggy's. 2-1 count. Ball 3 in the dirt. And Stillman now finds himself in a hole here against the Quakers cleanup hitter. 3-1 count.
This is a big at bat. Guilford has the opportunity to get bases loaded here with a walk or a hit. Still 2 outs here for them.
Pitch grounded to Leonardo at third across the diamond to TJ Peterson. And the Knights will get out of that top of the 5th inning with no runs allowed. That's the 2nd inning in a row where the Knights are able to hold the Quakers scoreless. And the Knights now, they will come up to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. Seth Lloyd will lead it off. Back here, bottom of the 5th inning, Seth Lloyd leads it off. First pitch is a ball. So Seth Lloyd, he'll look to start things off. He's reached base both of his previous at-bats. Finds himself ahead in the count, 2-0. New pitcher on the mound for Guilford. It's number 41, Rylan Vickery. Ball 3, 3-1 count to Seth Lloyd.
You know, like I talked about earlier in this game, Seth does a great job of staying patient and waiting for his hit. Now he's in a favorable 3-1 count here. Hopefully he can get a leadoff hit for SVU.
Big swing at that 3-1 pitch. Misses. But a good take. You don't mind that. 3-1. The pitcher has to come to you, and Seth was ready for that.
Yes, he was.
3-2 pitch now coming from Vickery. And Lloyd will swing and miss. Strike 3. So Vickery works himself back from a 3-1 count and gets the strikeout. That'll be the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, and they had a good opportunity. Seth was 3-1 in the count there, just can't make contact with the ball. Leads to a strikeout. But still, last inning, can SVU build on some of that momentum and start cutting into this deficit even more?
Ball 1 to Zach Gertson. Gertson, ground ball to shortstop. George picks it up, throw to first, and that will be the second out of the bottom of the 5th inning here.
That's kind of what you didn't want if you're SVU, to have like a quick inning here after the inning before, starting to finally get a little bit waking up on offense. But now SVU staring down the barrel of a very quick inning for them.
Mason Jones now steps in to face Vickery. Strike 1. Good pitch at the knees there to Mason Jones. Breaking ball, swung and fouled back. 0-2 count now to Jones. Vickery ready for the 0-2 pitch. And Jones,
Wow.
off the handle.
Wow.
A little soft liner to the shortstop, George, and George will pick that one out of the air, and that will retire the side here in the 5th inning for Southern Virginia. Guilford continues to lead 8-3 as we head to the 6th inning.
And we're back here at Charlie Manuel Field in an 8-3 ball game as it's top of the sixth here. And Guilford's back up to bat here. As SVU, unfortunately, was that inning, bottom of the fifth, was really quick for them. And let's see if they can do the same thing to Guilford here. As it's a 1-1 count here, with Ryan Smith up to bat for Guilford. Ball's going to miss the zone here, making it a 2-1 count.
Got another pitcher here on the mound for Southern Virginia, sophomore, Addison Stewart. He's out of Fort Defiance High School just up the road here in Virginia.
That was a great hit, great swing. And Guilford again, how many times have we said this? Leadoff man on first. As now coming back, we have Ethan George for Guilford with a man on first, 0 outs in an 8-3 ball game, top of the sixth. Let's see what Georgie could do here. Swung on and hit. It's going to be a foul ball. We have an 0-1 count here for Ethan George. The man on first here. They're going to go for the bunt attempt. It's going to be a strike, making it a 1-0-2 count, with 0 outs, top of the sixth.
You know, we've said this several times already, Isaiah. You know, right now, Stewart here looking to get a ground ball. See if we can turn that double play.
Absolutely, and we have multiple opportunities this game to do that. How many leadoff mans have been on first? That's going to be a foul ball. Kind of chopped down on that one, making it an 0-2 count here in favor of the pitcher for Southern Virginia University.
That's exactly what he's trying to do here. You've seen 2 foul balls, just foul down the third baseline. Looking to get that ground ball, start that 5-4-3 double play if he can.
It's going to be a wild pitch, and it's not going to come in time as Guilford's able to steal second and moves Guilford, to scoring position with a man on second, with Ethan George still up to bat here in a 1-2 count. Top of the sixth with 0 outs here. As the pitcher is going to take a little bit of a timeout here. Steps off the mound.
So a little bit of athleticism there by that umpire. That ball was going right at him, and he dropped to the ground to not get hit.
Absolutely was. Maybe he was a baseball player back in his day. Two count here. Pitch coming in. It's going to be swung on and hit. Marcelino catches it. It's going to throw it to the first baseman. That's going to be out number 1 for SVU. Guilford still a man on second. Marcelino did a great job there, able to field that ball. The second baseman runner couldn't run to third because of that and threw a dime to the first baseman. And that's going to be out number 1 for SVU here in an 8-3 ball game.
Yeah, great play by Marcelino there on the run. Field that and get the throw, and also hold the runner on second base.
Absolutely, as Christian Chinnan is up to bat here. Has had success earlier in this game, 2 for 3 with a chance to get a Guilford runner home with a man on second and a 1-0 count here. Now, second pitch is going to be a little too low, making it a 2-0 count. Another high pitch here. Misses the zone. 3-0 count.
Chinnon's been a tough player to get out here today. 2 for 3.
That's going to miss the zone again. That's going to walk Chinnon. And now Guilford, with 1 out in the inning, have a man on second and a man on first in perfect position to try to add on to their lead and get some of this momentum back that SVU stole from them in an 8-3 ball game here. As Reese Baker is up to bat, as that first pitch is going to be a ball. And a 1-0 count for Reese.
Baker, the Quaker catcher, he's 1 for 3 on the day here.
Swung on and hit, and that's going to be, should be a pop-up. Ben Agnew's under it, and it's going to land between Ben Agnew and the second baseman. And now Guilford has an opportunity to add on to their lead with bases loaded here, top of the 6th, and an 8-3 ball game. Like we talked about earlier, a lot of things have been going right for Guilford. Some bloopers are landing perfectly, soft hitting balls, and that's a perfect example of one, as both the outfielder and the shortstop are going after that one. But now, an opportunity for Caleb Calkins to go ahead with bases loaded and add on to Guilford's 8-3 lead. First pitch coming. Ball's going to be a little too high, making a 1-0 count. The nerves got to be hitting the SVU pitcher just a little bit here. He knows the opportunity that's in front of him. Still an opportunity for a double play and get out of here with no runs being scored. Second pitch coming, and that's a swing and a miss. 1-1 count here. Bases again loaded for Guilford. Ball's going to be a little too high, making it a 2-1 count. Again, a little outside. 3-1 count here. Bases loaded for Guilford with Caleb Coggins with an amazing opportunity. A hitter's dream. 3-1, bases loaded, 1 out. Fifth pitch coming. Right down the middle. And that's going to be strike number 2, making it a 3-2 count. Full count, bases loaded. What pitch would you expect to see here?
It's going to be his best pitch, the pitch he's most comfortable with. For Addison, it could be his curveball.
Ooh. It's going to be a foul ball. Still 3-2 count. Like you said, the curveball he's had success with in this game, and he needs that pitch here. And a full count with bases loaded. The pressure's on him. Payoff pitch coming. It's going to miss the zone as Guilford's able to score. And that's probably the worst case scenario if you're SVU. Well, I guess a grand slam would be the worst, but one of the worst, because now that adds to Guilford's lead, making it 9-3 with still 1 out in this inning, as Tyler Cox is going to come talk to his pitcher and calm him down a little bit, as Guilford still has the opportunity to keep adding on to their 9-3 run here with bases loaded. Now, Colby, if you're Tyler Cox, what are you saying to your pitcher on that mound?
But right now, it's been a tough day, for all the pitchers. They've already got 9 runs up on the board here through 6 innings. So, you understand that, you can't just throw pitches down the middle, but at the same time, you got to be competitive. You got to make them swing. You got to stay ahead and make them hit the pitch that you want them to hit and not get behind in the count, because, these hitters, they've been on to the pitchers all day long. So you got to get ahead right here. Bases are still loaded, still have an opportunity for a double play. So, you know, he's going to come out and say, okay, you got an opportunity. You're lefty on lefty right here.
Great
You know,
opportunity.
as Chris Shoemaker, you know, he's the leadoff batter for Guilford. You know, let's see if we can get a double play right here.
First pitch coming is going to be a strike.
And there's that curveball off of Stewart's hand.
Absolutely, making it an 0-1 count. That's been his best ball thrown so far. Let's see if he goes back to that. That's going to be outside. 1-1 count here.
Another curveball, just kind of finding how much he can extend that outside corner to the lefty Shoemaker.
Swung on and hit. And that's going to be a foul ball. Souvenir for a fan there. But that makes the count 1-2 here in favor of SVU, with an opportunity hopefully to strike him out if you're SVU. And then a pop-up gets out of this inning. Top of the sixth, 9-3 ball game. Bases loaded for Guilford. 1 out in this inning. Fourth pitch coming. Swung on and hit. And the shortstop's, unable to make the play as he kind of just threw his glove, trying his best to make the play, but it's not going to happen, and Guilford gets another one home. And now Guilford with a man on second and a man on first. And a 10-3 ball game with 1 out, top of the sixth.
Yeah, you've still got bases loaded there, just one scored on that. You know, and Stewart, he threw the exact pitch I was expecting, you know, 1-2 count, try and bury a curveball low in the zone, maybe even in the dirt.
That swung on and hit,
A ground ball.
and Mason Jones should come under, and he does. But Guilford has the opportunity to score as they get 1 home. And now we have corners here for Guilford. And that was a great job by Mason Jones of getting under that one. But Guilford still able to score and adds to their lead, making it 11-3 here. As SVU's 1 out of getting out of this inning. Before this, they're doing a fantastic job after giving up that 8-0 lead of playing good defense, and the pitching has gotten better. But this inning, the lid kind of busted open, and Guilford's able to capitalize on a few SVU mistakes, making it 11-3 with 2 outs, top of the sixth at Charlie Manuel Field. First pitch coming. That ball's going to be outside, 1-0 count. As SVU starting to warm up another pitcher, Colby, when would you expect to see a pitching change?
Well, Coach Cox has been pretty consistent today, giving every pitcher 1 inning.
Ball's hit and swung on.
Ground ball.
And the shortstop can't make the play, and Guilford's able to add on to their lead. And Guilford gets a man on third and a man on first. Same situation now, bases loaded, 2 outs, but Guilford goes ahead and scores, making it a 12-3 ball game.
Yeah, another ground ball just up to the second side of second base. Second baseman Brooks Burdette just unable to get there. And now there will be a pitching change, it looks like, as Coach Spencer Davis comes out to the mound.
Absolutely, and we'll be back with you with corners for Guilford with a man on third and a man on first, and see if they could still add to their lead in a 12-3 ball game, top of the sixth. We'll be back with you. as SVU has made a pitching change here, top of the 6th in a 12-3 ball game. As Camden Brogdon comes in, trying to save the day for SVU with a man on third and a man on first. First pitch coming. 2 outs. That's going to be a little too high. 1-0 count.
This is the Quakers cleanup batter, Dominic Peggies.
Swung on and hit, and that's going to be a foul ball. Making the count 1-1 with 2 outs here in this inning. That's going to be a strike. That's a good pitch here. 1-2 count here for Dominic Peggies. Swung on and hit straight to Marcelino. Throws it over to the first baseman, and he's able to make the play. And SVU gets out of the inning only after giving up 4 runs, and Guilford's able to add on to their lead, making it a 12-3 ball game. And we'll see a bottom of the 6th here with SVU up to bat. Swung on and hit. And that's going to be a foul ball as we're back bottom of the 6th here in a 12-3 ball game for SVU as Ben Agnew's up to bat here. Ben has had a hit earlier this game, looking to have some success here. As on the season, he's hitting 333, so a solid hitter here. But SVU's just trying to get any momentum. 0-1 count here. Second pitch coming. That ball's going to be a little too low, making a 1-1 count for Ben Agnew. Now a 2-1 count for Ben Agnew. The right fielder here looking to get on base as SVU has struggled to get their first batter on base. What can they do here? Pitch is thrown. Ben's going to make good contact with it, but it's going to be a foul ball. So 2-2 count here for Ben. Bottom of the 6th, and baseball is one of those sports that can flip in a blink of an eye, so the game's far from being done, but SVU needs to get some guys on and start cutting into the deficit. Ben's going to hit on that, and that's a great hit for Ben, and it's going to land for Ben Agnew as Ben Agnew's able to get a single here. Great hit, went right in between the center and left fielder. And the leadoff man for SVU and Ben is going to be on first base as Tad Peterson, which is 2 for 2 today. He's been cooking, is up to bat here. The first baseman trying to get Ben home. What can he do here? The first pitch coming your way. Whoa. That first pitch almost hit Tad, but guess what? That's going to send Ben Agnew to second base. Now the count will be 1-0, 0 outs in a 12-3 ball game. Bottom of the 6th here with a man in scoring position for SVU and Ben Agnew. Second pitch coming. It's going to be swung on and hit. It's going to be a foul ball. 1-1 count here for Tad Peterson. He's facing off Reelan Vickery. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And he's had so far a pretty good day on the mound. But SVU with a man in scoring position looking to change that here. 1-1 count. Third pitch coming. That's not going to find the zone, a little bit outside. That's going to be a 2-1 count here for Tad. Again, has played very well today. Looking to get some momentum for SVU. Fourth pitch coming. Swung on and hit. And Tad, is it going to drop? And it is going to drop for Tad Peterson. It says Ben Agnew to third and sends Tad to first. And what a day for Tad Peterson. 3 for 3 on the day. 12-3 ball game. But guess what? SVU with a runner on third and a runner on first. Down 9 here with up to bat Robert Stateman. And let's see what Robbie could do here. 0-2, he's 0 for 2, today. But looking for an opportunity to change that here at this at-bat. And that first pitch is just going to hit Robbie. And guess what? SVU with bases loaded with Marcelino up to bat here in a 12-3 ball game. The momentum can flip right here. 0 outs for SVU. Bases loaded. Down 9 runs. Let's see what Marcelino could do here. As we're going to see the coach from Guilford come and talk to his pitcher. Like I mentioned earlier, Vickery was doing pretty good, but now he's cooled off and bases loaded for SVU, and we'll be back with you. Bottom of the 6th here. Things are getting interesting here at Charlie Manuel Field. Marcelino steps up to bat with bases loaded. An opportunity for SVU to get back in this game. First pitch coming your way. Swung on and hit. That's going to be a foul ball. As Marcelino eyes got really wide there. As Guilford decided to stick with Vickery. Well, let's see if that decision is going to cost them. So he just needs to settle down a little bit if you're Guilford. But if you're SVU, oh boy, you're looking here to cut into this deficit. Second pitch coming, that's going to be on the ground. Marcelino, if he could do a good job of staying patient, I think he's going to get walked here. but it just depends on the patience of the senior batter and Marcelino. 1-1 count here. Ball's going to be low again. As like I said, Vickery is a little shaken up here. All of a sudden, a 2-1 count. If Marcelino can play his cards right, if it's 3-1, he's going to get a pitch he's going to want. Vickery versus Marcelino. 2-1 count. Fourth pitch coming. Swung and a miss. 2-2 count. As that was something that Marcelino could have hit. As Vickery is getting used to throwing low and away. But 2-2 count. Vickery has an opportunity to kind of pitch anything he wants here. That's going to be way too low. Full count here with bases loaded with 0 outs. This is a great opportunity for both teams here. This is why you love baseball. In a blink of an eye here, the game could completely flip in favor of SVU, or Guilford could get their first out of the inning. 3-2 count. Marcelino versus Vickery. Pitch coming. And they're going to say he doesn't go. And that's going to be... Wait. What is going on? I'm a little confused myself. The umpires are going to have a conversation. I don't know if they were counting that as a swing or what that could be, but that looked like a ball, and he did not go. So I'm not too sure of what the conversation is here. For the moment, it looks like Marcelino's walking back. I'm a little confused myself. He's looking for his bat, and they're going to rule that a strikeout. So they're going to rule he did go here, making that the first out of the inning. That was very confusing. And that was a controversial call because that did not look like he goes. But guess what? Brooks bird it with the opportunity. Same situation. 1 out to at least get someone home here. Bases loaded for SVU. 0-0 count, 1 out. Brooks looking to be the hero. Pitch thrown. Swung on and hit. Foul ball. 0-1 count. As it's important to know, SVU's at the top of the lineup here. After Brooks, it's going to be Connor Robley and Seth Lloyd. So 2 good hitters. Can they get there, though? That's the question. And that's going to be a strike. 0-2 count. That was a little questionable. That was at the knees. From this point of view, it looked a little too far inside. But 0-2 count, 1 out here. Brooks looking for something today as he struggled today, 0 for 2. But a hit here would make you forget about the 2 other at-bats, and that ball's going to be too far outside. 1-2 count. One-two count. Bases loaded. The pressure's on Vickery. So far has looked decent after having bases loaded, able to get Marcelino out. That pitch is going to be down the middle. That's going to be strike number 3. And Guilford, all of a sudden, SVU, bases loaded, 0 outs. Perfect opportunity to score. And they might not be able to get any runs through. But Connor Robley is up to bat. The senior, he's 0 for 3 today, so he's due on the season, averaging 333. So a great hitter. And this is the opportunity. You would love to see it here. First pitch coming your way. Swung on and hit, and straight to the third baseman. You cannot make that up. And SVU leaves bases loaded with 0 outs and can't score. That's just kind of the day SVU's having, unfortunately for them. But Guilford, what pitching by Vickery, able to come back after giving up bases loaded and allowing 0 runs. Almost unheard of. 12-3 ball game. Top of the 7th coming your way. we're back here at Charlie Manuel Field. As a half an inning ago, bottom of the sixth, SVU, my days with the perfect opportunity to score, but left bases loaded. And let's see if that comeback's to haunt SVU. As Camden Brogdon's up to pitch here. That pitch is going to be swung on, and finally the first batter up is out. And if you're SVU, you're trying to get a quick out. That was Rylan Smith, who's had 2 hits today, is the first man out for Guilford. And going back to that, Ethan George up to bat here, but going back to that last inning with bases loaded, 0 outs, we were expecting some type of runs being scored, but unfortunately, SVU was not able to get anyone through, and you gotta give credit to Vickery at Guilford for having outstanding pitching with bases loaded. As we have a 0-1 count here for Ethan George. Swung on and hit. That's going to be a foul ball. 0-2 count here, as this could be a quick inning for SVU, hopefully. 0-2 count, 1 out. Top of the 7th and a 12-3 ball game. Swung on and hit, and that's coming straight back to us. It looks like Ben Agnew's under it, and guess what? He is. And that's out number 2 for SVU. As Ben Agnew's able to make the play there, passing the ball around. As this is the inning that you would want if you're SVU, a quick 1-2-3 inning. And let's see if they can get it done here with Christian Chinnon up to bat. So far today was very successful on the season, batting a .500, but today has been a monster, 2 for 3. And that first pitch is going to be a strike as Camden Brogdon finds the zone here. 0-1 count, 2 outs. Camden looking for the last out and retire Christian Chinnon, who's been hot today. Ball going to be too far inside, 1-1 count. Ball's going to be too far outside, making a 2-1 count. Ball's going to be too far inside. 3-1 count in favor of the batter here. As Camden Brogdon, again, trying to get out of this inning without a man going on first, which would be a victory for SVU. Pitch thrown, swing, and a miss, as that was a big swing. 3-2 count, full count here. Top of the 7th, 2 outs. Camden Brogdon versus Christian Chinnon, who's been hot today. Who's going to win this at-bat? Full count, payoff pitch coming. Thrown on and hit, and guess what? It's going to land as Christian Chinnon adds to his phenomenal day and gets on first. As he's battled there, was able to get a full count after being down 0-2 in the count, came all the way back and got a hit. You got to give credit where credit is due, and Chinnon is hot as Reese Baker, who's 2 for 4 today, is up to bat. The catcher swung on a hit, the first pitch. Ben Agnew's running, second baseman running, and it's going to land in between both of them, and it's going to send Reese Baker to first, and it's also going to send Christian Chinnon all the way to third, and Guilford now with an opportunity to add to their lead, making it 13-3 here with corners for Guilford, as Tyler Cox is going to come talk to Brogdon, see if he could slow him down or get him out of the game, and we'll be back with you whenever Tyler's done talking to his pitcher. As SVU here in a position where Guilford is going to add on to their lead. They have corners, man on third, man on first. And now pitching for SVU is Drawn Rule, and Caleb Coggins is up to bat for Guilford. Can Caleb get a hit here and add on to their lead? And that first pitch is going to be a strike, which honestly doesn't make sense because the ump has called pitches just like that balls, and then now that's a strike. So a little bit inconsistency from that ump there. But nevertheless, it is a 0-1 count, and that pitch is going to be way too high. Now the count is 1-1 here. As a pitcher who just got subbed in, Drawn Rule, trying to make quick work without giving up any runs and giving SVU batters a chance here. Bottom of the 7th. That ball's in the dirt. 2-1 count. Top of the 7th here. Pitch is gonna, and it's gonna be a wild pitch. And guess what? The runner from third runs in, and that's gonna be a run for Guilford, making it a 13-3 ball game. Moves a man a second, and now Guilford still the opportunity to score again with the man in scoring position. As for Guilford, their 7 innings have 12 runs, 15 hits. Have been outstanding everywhere on the pitch, or on the field today, excuse me, and that's going to be strike number 2, full count, 3-2 count. But Guilford has been outstanding today, and SVU is kind of looking for answers here. But the game is not over. Baseballs are quick. Baseball momentum can shift in a matter of an inning. And that's going to be a swing and a miss here. SVU finally able to get that last out. But Guilford, through a wild pitch, is able to add on to their lead, make it a 13-3 ball game. And we'll see you bottom of the 7th that SVU can answer back.
Introducing Sport Performance. But not just this. They told you to choose books or the ball, the classroom or the court, but that was never you. You study like it's your playbook, you train like it's your thesis, your body's in motion, your mind's building the future. Because greatness isn't just in the stats, it's in your discipline, your character, your purpose. Master your sport, master yourself. This is Sport Performance at Southern Virginia University.
Bottom of the 7th here in a 13-3 ball game. as everything has gone right for Guilford this game, as Seth Lloyd is up to bat. First pitch is going to be way too far inside, making it a 1-0 count. But for SVU, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for them this afternoon, as hopefully they're looking to at least get a man on. And Seth is going to swing and hit that, and that's going deep, and it's going to be a foul ball. This outfielder was almost able to run underneath that, but it's going to be a foul ball, making it a 1-1 count here. But like I said, Guilford, got to give them credit. Did a great job of scoring, did a great job at getting that first man on base, and that's what it really comes down to, getting some people on base and getting them home. That's exactly what they did this afternoon, as the only real opportunities SVU's had to score was through an error. So you got to give credit to Guilford, as they're up 10 here in a 1-1 count. That's going to be a strike number 2, 1-2 count for Seth Lloyd, the senior, versus Ryan, if I can pronounce this right, Hofterner. Don't know if I'm saying that right, but Ryan is at the mound. Seth is going to hit, and that's going to be a pop-up. He almost got underneath that. That's going to be a pop-up there. First out, bottom of the 7th here. Zach Gearston up to bat here as he's stroking out twice this afternoon. Hopefully can change some of that luck here and get the momentum switching over for SVU. If not, SVU is slowly running out of time as Guilford's punting it on them. First pitch is going to be too far outside, making it a 1-0 count. As SVU is still a fantastic team. We've seen this team be able a week ago blow out a team with kind of their subs, but today just wasn't their day. The bats just weren't going their way. The baseball gods wasn't on their side this afternoon, and Guilford, give them credit again, took full advantage of that here. That's going to be strike 2-1 count. It's through again, 7 innings. Guilford with 15 hits to SVU 7 hits. With Guilford still leaving 11 on bases, that's going to be a solid hit. There we go for SVU as Zach is able to get on base. First hit of the afternoon. As Guilford, you think about it, has left 11 on bases. So this score could be a lot worse than what it is in 13-3. Same with SVU, has left 7 on bases through 29 at-bats. Both even with 2 errors this afternoon. First pitch coming, that's going to be too low, as Mason Jones tied with home runs this season. As a home run here would be a great look. And a 1-0 count situation. Man on first for SVU. Swung on and hit. Mason Jones is going to get under that one. And guess what? That's going to land in time for SVU. As he's going to run home. Is he going to get her? As he's out. Mason Jones with a phenomenal hit is going to get a double. But unfortunately, the legs of Zach is just not fast enough for the throw. As that was a rifle from Guilford's 24. And Christian Chinning is a phenomenal day. If it's not at bat, it's out in this field, hitting and throwing great today. As SVU's on their last out of the inning, and most likely the game here, with Mason Jones on second base with Ben Agnew, a phenomenal hitter, up to bat here. So that's going to be strike number 1, 0-1 count. You got to give credit. You know, I can't even blame SVU for singling him to run home. That was just a phenomenal throw. I mean, but Ben Agnew's going to hit, get under that, and it's going to land. And SVU's able to send Mason Jones home with Ben Agnew getting an RBI. And this game's going to continue with Ben being able to get a single there and send Mason Jones home with 2 outs. And Tad Peterson up to bat here. With you never know, maybe the momentum will flip towards SVU. Baseball's a game of momentum. Down 9. First pitch coming. It's going to be too far outside. Ben Agnew almost caught at first. What a hit by Ben Agnew, too. Having a phenomenal day. 1-0 count. Second pitch coming. Swung on and hit by Tad Peterson. It's going to go straight to the second baseman. Throws it over to the first baseman, and that's going to be out number 3 for SVU. Retires the inning, but SVU able to keep the game alive by scoring by a perfectly hit ball from Ben Agnew, making it a 13-4 game. Top of the 8th. We'll see you. As we're back here, top of the 8th here in a 13-4 ball game here at Charlie Manuel Field. As SVU, an inning ago, was able, with Ben Agnew's excellent hit, to get home. And let's see what can happen here. 1-0 count. John Rule still the pitcher on the mound today versus Chris Shoemaker. As Shoemaker's going to get a hit, slides right between the first baseman. Ben Agnew's able to field it in the outfield, but again, the story's the same. Guilford is able to get their leadoff man on first. Top of the 8th here with Shoemaker on. As that's another hit for Guilford as they have 16 hits through 8 innings, as Ryan Rodriguez is up to bat here, who's had 3 RBIs today. Phenomenal. Excuse me, he's not up to bat. Sam Melton. My apologies. Sam Melton is up to bat here. First pitch is swung on and missed. That was a great pitch by John Rule. Guilford with the man on first. Pitch thrown, and that's a strike number 2. 0-2 count. As you would think with all the the times that a man has been on first as he was trying to get that double play, but just haven't had success this afternoon. Ball's going to be too far outside, and that's going to make it a 1-2 count. Top of the 8th here. A Shoemaker on first. 1-2 count. 4th pitch coming your way. Ball's going to be too high, making it a 2-2 count. Pitch thrown and swung on. It's going to be foul tip. That's going to make it still a 2-2 count here. Sam Melton battling here for Guilford. As Guilford currently is 7th in the ODAC, or excuse me, 10th in the ODAC, preseason ranked 7th. They're off to a shaky start this season. 2-2 count here, top of the 8th. Pitch coming, that's going to be too high. You got a full count here. John Rule versus Sam Melton. Full count, payoff pitch coming. Who's going to win this at-bat here? Man on first and Shoemaker for Guilford. Pitch coming, thrown, and it's going to be a swing and a miss. What a pitch by John Rule. Sam Melton left swinging, and that's the first out of the inning here at Charlie Manuel Field for SVU, as the man's still on first for Guilford. First pitch of this at-bat coming. Skylar Darks up to bat. He's going to be swung on, and it's going to be a foul ball. Marcelino slides. That ball is going to go into the gravel. So we're going to have a 0-1 count here with 1 out and a 13-4 ball game, top of the 8th here, with Skylar Dark up to bat versus John Rule. 0-1 count, second pitch coming. Swung on and hit, goes right back to the pitcher. He can't field it. Seth Lloyd's able to get it, and he's able to get out number 2. What a play by Seth Lloyd. Throws it straight to the first baseman and Tad Peterson. And now we're looking at an inning, top of the 8th with 2 outs and a 13-4 ball game, with Guilford with a man on second. With up to bat Dominic Piquez, who has an RBI this game, is looking to do the same thing with a runner in scoring position for Guilford, as that first pitch is going to be too far outside. 1-0 count here. 2 outs. Man on second for Guilford College. That swung on and hit, and Connor Robley goes right under it, and that's going to be out number 3 for SVU in a 13-4 ball game, and we'll see you bottom of the 8th. And we're back here, bottom of the 8th, and a 13-4 ball game as Robbie Stedman is up to bat here versus Hayden Sadek. Comes in to pitch for Guilford, trying to end the game here. And a 13-4 game, 0-1 count. What can Robbie do here? First pitch, second pitch, excuse me, is going to go into the dirt, making it a 1-1 count. Robbie has struck out earlier today, is looking for his first hit, and that's going to be strike number 2 on the season. He's batting a 182, the catcher for SVU. 0-for-2 on the day, but like I said, still a great player, and see if he can get a hit here. And that's going to be a strike number 3, and he's out of here. That's the first out of the inning, bottom of the 8th here. Up to bat next is Marcelino, who's 1-for-3 on the day and is batting a 342. And let's see if he can get the momentum going for SVU here. First pitch coming as Brooks Burden is on deck, and that first pitch is going to be a strike. 0-1 count here. That's going to be strike number 2 here early for Marcelino. 0-2 count, 1 out, bottom of the 8th here. And that's a ball there. Kind of look like a strike from here, but 1-2 count helps Marcelino and the SVU batters here. Bottom of the 8th, 13-4 ball game. And that ball's going to be too far outside. 2-2 count here. Two count. Marcelino at bat here. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Swung on and hit, chopped down. And that ball is going to be an out here. Second out of the inning. SVU. 4 outs remaining in this ball game, down 9 runs. They're looking to try to get any momentum, any life out of these batters. And today's just not been their day. Again, Guilford has played phenomenal thus far as Brooks Burden is up to bat. 0-for-3 on the day, but is batting a 292 on the season. Could he be the first one on base this inning? SVU down against their last 4 outs. First pitch is going to be a ball, 1-0 count here. Second pitch is going to find the zone. 1-1 count. Third pitch coming your way. 1-1 count. Pitch thrown. Swung on and hit. Straight to the third baseman. And he's able to make the play. And that's out number 3 for SVU. SVU's on their final 3 outs. Down 9 runs. And we'll see you top of the 9th here at Charlie Manuel Field. And we're back here, top of the ninth, in a 13-4 ball game. As Guilford's up to bat here with Max Yersbatch, pitching for SVU as Rylan Smith is up to bat here. Again, Guilford, through 9 innings, have had 16 hits and 13 runs as they put on a show offensively. And that first pitch is just going to hit him. Jackson Shaner is going to go to first. That first pitch just hits him in the back. Excuse me, that was Rylan Smith who just got to first. So now Jackson Shaner is up to bat here versus Max. First pitch coming, and that's going to be a strike. 0-1 count here with a man on first for Guilford. Up 9 runs here, top of the ninth, looking to add to their total as SVU has their final 3 outs coming up here shortly. Max pitch coming, and that's going to be swung on and a miss. 0-2 count here in favor of Max. Ethan George is at bat, He's had 1 hit today and an RBI through 5 at-bats. Let's see what he can do here. Hitting a 213 on the season. That's going to be swung on and hit, and that's going to land. Ben Agnew can't make the play, and that's going to lead a runner to second. And now for Guilford with 0 outs, man on second, man on first, and scoring position. And that's going to add to Guilford's hit total, making it 17 hits through 9 innings of play thus far, with the man in scoring position to add to their 9-run lead. With Gage Tanny up to bat here, has not hit thus far this game. Now let's see what Gage could do versus Max. First pitch coming. Runner in scoring position. First pitch is going to be swung on. It's going to be foul tip. 0-1 count here with 0 outs. Top of the ninth. 13-4 ball game. Ball's going to be too high again. 1-1 count here. As MLB baseball is back, hopefully your guys' teams are doing good. In a bright spot, baseball's in full swing, college and professional level. That ball's going to miss. Too high, 2-1 count here. Baseball and professional level are back. So wishing everyone's team success this season, unless you're the Red Sox. Fourth pitch coming, 2-1 count. That's going to be a strike. Number 2. 2-2 count here. Top of the ninth in a 13-4 ball game. Runners in scoring position. Gage Tanway versus Max Ursenbach. Who's going to win here? 2-2 count. Fifth pitch coming. Swung on and hit, and that's going deep, deep. That's going to land between Max and Connor. Mason and Connor can't make the play, and that's 2 runs for Guilford University here. Wow, making it a 15-4 ball game. Yeah, Charlie Manuel field on a 2-2 count. Absolutely nuked that thing out in left field for a double for his first at-bat of the game. 2 RBI double. As Reese Baker's up to bat here, as the sorrows are only getting worse for SVU here. Guilford being relentless at the bat. As they, again, now through 9 innings have 18 hits, have put on a clinic offensively here with Reese Baker, who's had 5 at-bats through 3 hits and an RBI this afternoon. Here looking to add to his RBI total with a man on second. That ball's going to be a strike, 1-1 count here. 1-1 count, man on second. Pitch is thrown. Hit foul ball. 1-2 count here. 0 outs. Top of the ninth. Guilford has a 11-run lead here. Fourth pitch coming. Swung on and hit. And that, it's going to slide in between the first and second baseman. And now Guilford have corners here. Man on first, man on third. Looking to add to their total with 0 outs here. Top of the ninth and a 15-4 ball game. As up to bat next for Guilford is going to be Caleb Coggins, who is 0 for 2 on the day and is batting below 100 this season. Looking to turn around here. Can he get a hit? As he struck out once today, but has 3 walks this afternoon with an RBI. And that first pitch is going to be too far outside, making it a 1-0 count here with corners for Guilford. As this has been a dreaded inning for SVU, as they have allowed so far 2 runs. And it looks like a lot more left if they don't have an answer for Guilford's batting. That's going to be a 2-0 count for Guilford in favor of the batter here. Man on first, man on third. Pitch going to be too far outside. 3-0 count. Max is struggling a little bit to find the strike zone. Needs to settle down a little bit. Get out of this inning with some pride. You don't want to go down more than already 11 here. Pitch coming, and that's going to be too far outside. Bases loaded, 0 outs for Guilford, and a 15-4 ball game. As Tyler Cox is going to come talk to his pitcher. Hopefully settle him down. As it's top of the ninth with bases loaded. Not the at bat you would want. Not the inning, you would want for SVU here. Already given up 2 runs. And maybe more to come here. 0 outs, but we'll see you after Tyler Cox is done talking to Max. And we're back here after that coaching talk with his pitcher. 0-0 count, 0 outs. First pitch coming, swung on and hit, and that's going to be a foul ball, a souvenir for a fan. As we do at bat is Malachi Harris, his first at bat of the afternoon, and what at bat this could be with bases loaded. 0-1 count. If you're a hitter, isn't that what you want? Bases loaded, an 11-point re-aim, and it's swung on and hit. That's going to be a pop-up. It should be for the shortstop and Seth Floyd, and he's able to make the play. There you go. Out number 1 for SVU. Guilford on their last 2 outs of the game. Bases loaded still. SVU not out of danger yet, but what a start there. As Sam Melton is at to bat here for Guilford. He's 0 for 1 on the day and is batting a .250 on the year. What can you do here with bases loaded? First pitch coming. Ball is going to swing and a miss. 0-1 count. His eyes got a little big there. On deck is Skylar Dark, who's 2 for 5 on the day and is batting a .400 on the season. So hopefully SVU can get out of here with the out. And 1 out can get out of the inning, and that ball's going to hit the dirt. That's going to be a 2-1 count here. Sam versus Max Ursenbach. Who's going to win this at-bat? 1-1 count. Third pitch coming, that's going to be too high. 2-1 count now. Jinxed it. Two-one count. 1 out. Bases loaded for Guilford. Pitch coming, swing and a miss. The eyes are huge for Guilford right now. And Max knows it. That's a 2-2 count here. Bases loaded. Sam Melton versus Max Urchenbach. Pitch coming, swung on, foul tip. 2-2 count. We do it again. 1 out. He's staying alive here. Now let's see what Max is going to throw here. Is he going to try to paint those corners, or is he going to give him something to hit? Pitch coming, thrown right down the middle, and guess what? That's a strike. Strikeout for Max. Guilford on their last out. Bases loaded here. A pop-up ends the inning. But let's see what can happen as Skylar Dark is up to bat. Again, like I said, he's 2 for 5 on the day and batting a .400, a phenomenal hitter. And let's see what he can do with bases loaded. Though Guilford is on their last out of the game here in a 15-4 ball game, top of the 9th. First pitch coming, swung on and hit, and that's going to be a foul ball. For your SVU, you were a little scared there. But 1-0-1 count here, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Max has done a good job of settling down. Can he get this last out with giving up no runs? And that's going to find the box. 0-2 count. Good start for Max. Can end it here versus a great batter. Two runs have already been scored, but you can stop the bleeding here. Max count 0-2. Pitch thrown a little too far outside. 1-2 count here. 2 outs. Guilford on their last out. Excuse me, RJ Deese is at bat here. He has not had an at bat thus far this game, but it doesn't change the fact that the count is 1-2 here. Guilford on their last out. Fourth pitch coming your way. Pitch thrown, swung on and hit. And the first baseman's going to make the play. Tad Peterson makes the play. That's out number 3 for SVU, making it a 15-4 game. And we'll see you bottom of the 9th and see if SVU can mount a 11-run comeback. And we're back here, bottom of the 9th, as SVU has 3 more outs remaining for them. As that first pitch, is going to be a ball here for SVU. It's hard to tell who's at bat here. I think it's Mason Jones here for Southern Virginia University, though. Trying to double check that for you guys here. That pitch is going to be too far outside, making a 3-0 count in favor of the batter here. You know what they say, though, right? 3-0 count, you don't swing, but what pitch is going to be thrown here? That's going to be a walk for Mason Jones, it appears. As Tyson for SVU's up to bat. SVU on their last 3 outs. Man on first here in a 15-4 ball game. Can the momentum start going in favor of SVU as their leadoff man gets on first, and that first throw is going to be a strike, excuse me. 0-1 count here. Second pitch coming. Swung on and foul tip. That's going to be a 0-2 count here for SVU. As up to bat, it looks like it's Connor Robley. Excuse me, no, Jackson Jones is up to bat here, as it's a little confusing to see. Excuse me, Jackson Jones was just at bat, so it's Tyson Smith at bat. Sorry for the delay. It's hard to see who's back here, who's at bat, and who's on base. Doesn't change the fact the count is now 2-2, and let's see if SVU can get a couple batters on. Two count here. SVU battling with their lives. Last 3 outs. Pitch coming. Swung on. Foul ball. 2-2 count. We do it again here. SVU fighting last 3 outs. As Guilford has made changes all over the field, as it looks like they changed their whole entire outfield and a little bit of their infield, giving some younger guys a chance here, but would that cost them here? Swung on and hit, and that's going to be an infield pop-up by the first baseman, makes the catch, and SVU down to their last 2 outs here at Charlie Manuel Field this afternoon. Excuse me, they're down to their last out here at Charlie Manuel Field. At least that's what the scoreboard says. This could be the last at-bat attempt, and Gabe Moore is going to come in and hit here. As the scoreboard's wrong, there's only 1 out. So SVU's on their final 2 outs with man on first and Gabe Moore up to bat here. First pitch coming your way. First pitch, it's going to be a swing and a miss. Does that find the zone? Either way, that was a good pitch. 0-1 count here. Man on first for SVU. Pitch coming outside. That's going to be a 1-1 count here for SVU. That ball's going to be too far inside. That's going to be ball number 2. 2-1 count here. SVU down to their final 2 outs. Fourth pitch coming your way. Pitch is thrown. It's going to be a swing and a miss for Gabe Moore. 2-2 count. If Gabe could stay a little patient here, he's going to give him. The pitcher's going to throw something he's going to want to hit. His last couple of pitches have been low and away, but what will the Guilford pitcher do here on a 2-2 count? Pitch is thrown. Gabe Moore's going to get contact on that, and that's going to land perfectly in between the center field and the shortstop, resulting in Jackson Jones getting to second and Gabe Moore getting a single in this game. As SVU down the last 2 outs have some type of momentum with a man on second and a man on first. And baseball's a game you never know. Down 11 here at Charlie Manuel Field. SVU battling with their last 2 outs. Life on the line. pitch is going to be too far inside. And Carson Danes is up to bat for Southern Virginia University versus Hayden Senrick, the pitcher on the mound for Guilford. 1-0 count. Second pitch going to be too far outside, making it a 2-0 count. Count here. SVU down the last 2 outs. Ball's going to be again whoa, it's going to be a strike. 2-2 count. I don't know about that one, but 2-2 count here. Says it found the zone. SVU fighting for their lives. Last 2 counts. Pitch thrown, swung on and hit straight to the first baseman, and that's going to be a double play, and that should end the game. No, it's not going to be a double play, but Gabe Moore gets out. The first base runner going to second is going to get out here, and it looked like it had an opportunity to be a double play, but it just wasn't swung on hard enough for that opportunity. But now SVU is down to their last out, and a 15-4 ball game here. SVU with Ashton Westby, excuse me, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Ashton Westby up to bat here. Last out for SVU. Man on third, man on first. Down 11 runs here. First pitch thrown is going to be swung on and hit, and that's going to be the ball. Oh, spoke too soon as the second baseman can't make the play. Excuse me, shortstop can't make the play. And guess what? SVU is able to make a run here, cutting the deficit to 15-5 here. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. You never know, right? Man on second, man on first for SVU. Up to bat here. It's going to be Tad Peterson, who's had a day here. Get SVU, get their bats hot. That's going to be first pitch is going to be a strike. 0-1 count here. SVU down to their last out. Second pitch coming. Swung on and hit, and that's going to go straight to the second baseman. Can he make the play to first? And that's going to be out number 3, and that's the ball game. Guilford wins 15-5 here at Charlie Manuel Field as SVU is unable to mount a comeback, and that's all she wrote here. And again, you got to give credit to Guilford. A phenomenal job of hitting today. Had 18 hits through 9 innings. A phenomenal job of getting on base and getting everyone home. And at SVU here, you got to think of the opportunities you missed earlier in the game with bases loaded and couldn't get anyone home. But that's going to be all she wrote here. 15-5, Guilford versus Southern Virginia University.